Hi all, I'm Shweta Reddy, Assistant Professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering from R.M.K College of Engineering and Technology. In this video, we are going to see about arrays and types of arrays in Java. Okay, first we'll see what is an array. An array is a collection of similar elements. I hope you all know this. That is, we can store a group of similar elements under one single variable. Normally, we will be using different variables for storing different values. Am I right? Yes, for example, if I have three values like 10, 20 and 30, I'll be using three different variables like A, B and C, and I will initialize A to 10, B to 20 and C to 30. If there are two or three values means we can use this method. But if there are more values means we can use arrays to store the values so that it would be more convenient. That is, if we use variables instead of arrays to store the elements, we have to use more number of variables. Declaring and handling those more number of variables will be more inconvenient for the developers. And that is the reason why we use arrays. That is, in short, for storing multiple values in a single variable is more convenient instead of declaring separate variables for each value. Okay, now let us see about the types of arrays. There are two types of arrays, that is one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array. In one-dimensional array, the elements will be stored in linear arrangement. Look at the diagram, the elements are stored linearly. And another type is two-dimensional array. Here the elements will be stored in rows as well as in columns. Look at the diagram of two-dimensional array. The elements are stored like a matrix, that is, they are stored in rows as well as in columns. So these are the two types of arrays, that is one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array. We will see detailing about this syntax and an example program for both the types of array in the next coming slides. Now let us see about one-dimensional array. As I said earlier, elements having same data type are stored in linear arrangement under a single variable name. Here in the diagram, let me say the size of the array as 10. Generally, in an array, the index value starts from 0 and it ends up to size minus 1. So, the index values here starts from 0 till it ends up to size minus 1. Here size is 10, so 10 minus 1 is nothing but 9. So, the index values are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And in each index value, we have stored an element. How to declare, initialize and storing an element in an array we will be seeing in the next coming slides. Hope you all understood what is one-dimensional array. Just remember this, in one-dimensional array, the elements are stored in linear arrangement. Now let us see the syntax for one-dimensional array. First we will see how to declare a one-dimensional array. Normally while declaring a variable, what is the syntax? Yes, for declaring a variable, we will be using data type, variable name. That is, for example, I can say int a, where int is the data type and a is the variable name. And now for declaring one-dimensional array, the syntax is data type, array name, square brackets. Square brackets. Do you remember separators? Yes, what are separators? Dividing a group of code and arranging them systematically, we will be using certain symbols, and those symbols are nothing but separators. There are many separators we saw, like parentheses, square brackets, curly brackets, like that we saw. Under that, did we see square brackets? Yes, we have studied about the square brackets. Why are that square brackets are used for? Those square brackets are used for declaring an array. Okay, coming back to the declaration of one-dimensional array, this is the syntax, that is data type, array name and square brackets. And there is a semicolon here. Why we use semicolon? In order to terminate the statement, and which is also a separator. So example for declaring the one-dimensional array is int a square bracket, that is, whereas int is the data type, a is the array name. Next we will see about initializing the one-dimensional array. The syntax is array name, new, data type and inside square bracket size. Example, I can say a is equal to new int 10, where yes, a is the array name, int is the data type, and I am declaring the size as 10. So this is what about the syntax for initializing the array. Instead of declaring and initializing the array in two different lines, we can do the declaration and initialization of an array in the same line. The syntax for that is data type array name equal to new data type size. For example, I can say int a is equal to new int 10, where int is the data type, a is the array name, and new is nothing but the keyword, and size of the array I am giving it as 10. So this is what about initializing and declaring and initializing an array. Now let us see how to assign values for each element. We will see different ways. First way is assigning the element 0 with the value 10, element 1 with the value 20, element 2 with the value 30, element 3 with the value 40, and so on. That is element 9 with the value 100. So this is how we will be assigning the values manually. That is, look here in the diagram, element 0 is assigned with the value 10, element 1 is assigned with the value 20, element 2 is assigned with the value 30, and so on till element 9 is assigned with the value 100. This is how we will assign manually in the program. Instead of that, we can assign like this also, that is giving the values inside the curly braces. It will automatically give the first value is addressed to element number 0. Second value is addressed to element number 1 till, and the last value is addressed to element number 9. Like this also we can assign the values for each element in our program. Now let us see an example for one-dimensional array. Now look at the program. I have class name as sample. Then I am going to start with the main program. I have declared the array. I have initialized the array with size 5. Instead of declaring and initializing in two different lines, I can use this, that is int a is equal to new int 5. So instead of using two different lines, in single line itself I can declare and initialize the array. Then I am going to print storing the number in an array, storing the numbers in an array. I am going to print this. Then I am going to initialize the element number 0 as 1, element number 1 as 3, element number 2 as 5, element number 3 as 7, and element number 4 as 9. Now this is what the syntax for assigning the values for each element. So after assigning the values, the program will look like this. That is, 0th element is assigned with the value 1, first element is assigned with the value 3, second element is assigned with the value 5, and third element is assigned with the value 7, fourth element is assigned with the value 9. Now what I want to find is the element at a of 4. What is the element at a of 4? The element at a of 4 is nothing but 9. So the output would be 9. So this is what about one-dimensional array. I hope this is clear. Now let us see about the second type of array, which is nothing but a two-dimensional array. What is a two-dimensional array? A two-dimensional array is an array in which the elements are stored in rows as well as in columns. Look at the diagram. The elements are stored in rows as well as in columns. That is, it looks like a matrix. Let us see about the syntax for two-dimensional array in the next coming slide. Now let us see the syntax for two-dimensional array. The syntax for one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array is almost similar. One-dimensional array, the elements are stored in linear arrangement, so one size is enough. In two-dimensional array, the elements will be stored in rows as well as in columns. So we will be requiring both row size as well as column size. So that is the main difference. Now this is declaring the two-dimensional array, that is int a, and for initializing the two-dimensional array, a is equal to new int size of row and size of column. Instead of declaring and initializing in two different lines, here also we can declare and initialize at the same line, that is data type array name is equal to new data type row size as well as column size. That is, for example, int is nothing but the data type, a is the array name, then we have new keyword, then int which is the data type, and 3 which is nothing but the row size, and 3 which is nothing but the column size. So this is what about declaring and initializing the two-dimensional array. I hope this is clear. Now let us see how to assign the values for each element in two-dimensional array. As I said earlier, in two-dimensional array, the elements will be arranged in rows as well as in columns. Now look here, the elements are arranged in rows as well as in columns. So the first one represent row and second one represent column. So 0th row and 0th column, the element is assigned with the value 10. The 0th row and 0th column, the element is assigned with the value 10. 0th row and first column, the element is assigned with the value 20. The element is assigned with the value 20. And 0th row second column is assigned with the value 30. Look here, 0th row and second column is assigned with the value 30. And this is how the elements are assigned in two-dimensional array. As I said earlier, in two-dimensional array, elements will be arranged in rows as well as in columns. It would be just like matrix. Now let us see an example for a two-dimensional array. Look here in this example, the class name is nothing but sample. Then I have declared and initialized the array in the same line with the size, row size as 3 and column size is also 3. Declaring and initializing the array in two different lines is also possible. Next, I am initially keeping the k value as 0. Now look here how this loop works means I have I is nothing but rows. Remember, I is nothing but rows and j is nothing but columns. Okay. First I am going into the zeroth row. If I go into the zeroth row, the column of 0, 1 and 2 will be completed. Next, if I go to the first row, the columns of 0, 1 and 2 will be completed. Then if I go to the second row, the columns of 0, 1 and 2 will be completed. This is how this loop works. Initially I am keeping the k value as 0. Now the k value will be 0 plus 10 is nothing but 10. So 10 will be printed here. Next, now I have k value as 10. Now 10 plus 10 is nothing but 20. Next, 20 plus 10 which is nothing but 30. 30 plus 10 which is nothing but 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Like that it will be printed. Look here in the output. Now you will be asking me how it is going to the next line after each row. After each row I have given like it should go to the new line. Print ln means new line. And after each column I have given space. So after each column, after 10 and between 10 and 20 there is a space, because I have given after each column there should be space and after each row there should be a new line. Remember this, after each column I have given space and after each row I have given a new line. So this is how this programming is working. I hope this is clear. In this video, we have seen what is an array and what are the types of array. In summary, an array is the collection of similar elements. There are two types of array, one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array. In one-dimensional array, the elements are stored in linear arrangement, and in two-dimensional array, the elements are stored in rows as well as in columns, that is like a matrix. I hope this is clear. Hope you all understood. Thank you.